So guys, welcome to Sketching Out Loud, the show where I draw something and then afterwards I go ahead and commentate on the process of it. This week I'm drawing Tatsumaki, the S-rank number 2 hero from One Punch Man. Now, Tatsumaki, despite being a tiny little tsundere, is that how you pronounce it? Possesses immense psychic powers, which allow her to dominate and overcome enemies that most of the time come in much larger and more threatening sizes. It's a pity that they did not get Kugimiya Rie to voice actor, but I think the voice actor that they did get does a pretty good job. You know what, guys? I just realized it's been about 5 episodes of this stuff, and I haven't mentioned that I have a Discord server all this time. So here it is, guys. My Discord server, I have one. If you are a fellow artist and you enjoy, drawing in the company of others, I'm not sure how that kind of works, but if you just enjoy being in the company of other artists, check it out. Join us. And I'm just gonna leave the link in the video description down below. Alright, so going into this drawing, I already knew I was going to color specific parts in, namely the face and the hair. So in preparation for that, I sort of left better defined line art around those parts, and also I cleared out more space so that I can work, have a cleaner space to work the color into. So if you sort of already know that you're gonna color specific parts in and what coloring technique you might use, you can sort of utilize your line art to sort of like help bring the color out and help make it pop. The line art helps with the color helps out the line art. Like in some places you might thin out the line art a little bit, or in some places you might, if you know that you are going to be coloring certain bits, you might choose to draw in the detail using only color, so then you forego the entire line art segment for like a certain area. That's what I'm getting at, basically. So yeah, make sure your line art helps out your colors, and then your colors help out your line art. I know. So I actually shaded in her eyes with the line art layer, which was a blunder on my part because I knew I was gonna color her eyes in, but I thought that because the shading was gonna be dark anyways, I may as well just do it on line art layer. But by doing that, I would have less control over the darker tones, like the different colors I wanted to use. So later on in the sketch or the drawing, whatever, I actually went back on the line art layer and I erased the shading for the eyes on the line art layer. Right, so next thing I wanted to talk about was I sort of had like a preemptive fear before I even attempted to draw her hairstyle, because I felt like it was going to be a challenge. It's a lot of micro curling because she has the overwhelming telekinesis powers that make her hair just curl up, and all those micro curls, micro curling, like if I didn't balance it right, it would just look like she has a bad hair day or something. So I had to sort of carefully draw the curls in so I don't overdo it, and also try to maintain like a good silhouette of like the general hair shape, because at the end of the day, like, she has a general hair shape. The details are like a thing on its own, but the general hair shape has to be like one of the default hair type things. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So to get that glow on enemy eyes, what you want to do is you want to make a new layer and then just make it like a color dodge layer. And you can do this in the blending modes for the layer, like, where you go to change it to multiply and all that stuff. You can change it to color dodge, And if you have a full-on layer of black that's set to color dodge, black will signify no shine, and then if you use white on that layer, it will make it glow. And if you just keep it all black, it'll just be like a transparent layer. You won't even see it on the image, which is really nice. Like you can overlay that on top of the majority of layers. So guys, I'm actually going to be starting a new series on this channel called Quick Draw. These are just going to be, I don't know, like 3 to 5 minute videos, maybe possibly even, shorter segments of videos. It's just going to be drawing videos with music playing in the background, nothing much. Mostly for the fact that I wanted to post these guys on other social media platforms. And I think social media platforms, you don't really post like full-length videos type thing. So I was thinking of doing something along those lines, just so I can, reach out to a broader audience type thing. I don't know. They're also going to be easier to make for me. So, because I don't know, I feel like commentating is hard, but I do enjoy it, which is why I want to keep on going and continue with this series. It's fun. It helps me learn and improve on my, I don't know, just conversation abilities. I guess that's kind of weird. I mean, I'm not really having a conversation. I'm just like talking to myself, or, I don't even have a mirror. But yeah, just keep an eye out for when those videos pop up if you guys are interested. My social media websites are all in the video description down below, so if you guys are interested, you can check that out. You don't have to. I'm just glad that you guys are here watching this right now. I really didn't know what I was doing with like the pose or whatnot. I don't want to do anything super complicated because I wanted to add more patterns in, but then I sort of gave up on adding the patterns, so it became just like a very generic non-pose even. So I'm not quite sure what to say about this part, because I'm basically just freestyling details or non-details, just adding lines onto lines and drawing curls and patterns here and there. I can't really explain it, because when I get into the state of mind where I'm doing these patterns, I pretty much just zone out and stop thinking. It's really relaxing for me because I just go on autopilot mode, and yeah, it's kind of like a mental escape for me, So I figured after drawing, I wanted to separate her from the background a little bit more. Her and the patterns separated from the background, make it pop a little bit more. So I did this little folding sheet thing, or whatever you call it. Just a little piece of color, like it doesn't have to be a unique shape or anything like that. But I do tend to like making them shapes a little bit curlish. Here I'm just adding sheets of texture and putting them on different blending modes just to give the drawing a little bit more detail, like get rid of that super clean look that CGI tends to have. Like when you draw on paper, it is the paper texture, and then when you draw on computer, it's like perfect smoothness. A little bit of added texture makes the overall image look a little bit more interesting, that's all. Here I am just overlaying some more texture because I'm insane. But yeah, I mean, if it makes your image look more interesting, then why not? And here's the finished product.